Anyway, and now we have a complete and absolute rerun of this race. We'd only done about a lap and a half when we got a red flag last time, so this will be a full distance restart. Anybody that needed the practice have now had some. Of course, you can only practice a start, you know, in certain places at each track. There are designated areas for practicing a clutch start.
If it's safe to do so.
If it's safe to do so. So you get penalised big time if you practice your starts anywhere. So they've had a practice start from the grid. That was last time round. We're waiting for row 2 to form up. Row 2 is not forming up. There's a hand in the air. It's Hayden. Hayden has his hand in the air, so Hayden has a problem.
Stalled it.
James Hayden has a definite problem on row 2. He's got to get a push.
And also somebody further back on the grid.
Oh dear
number
me,
13,
this is a mess. We're
Dan Harris.
And number 7, row 7 also has a hand up.
You can't bump start these Ducatis very easily.
No, you
I'll tell you that.
They need the electric. They need the big motor to start the thing, because you need to spin the rear wheel at something like 30 miles an hour, and that bloke ain't going to push it at 30 miles an hour. And there is
that's Dan Harris.
Dan Harris is out of here as well. Now that is obviously a mechanical failure, because he's not even attempting to start that. Oh dear me, James Hayden. And remember, James Hayden has a foot injury. He crashed at 120 miles an hour last week at Snetterton. That bike ain't going to start. They're going to try and open the barrier and start that bike. I think the organisers are going to make him start from pit lane.
Yep.
That's where he's going to have to start from. He's been dragged off. And who's that sort of coolish looking guy that was in the pit lane alongside James Hayden there? Can't have been Jonathan Green, surely, can it? No, it's far too cool. I don't think John Reynolds has based his hairstyle on Jonathan Green.
It's a radical haircut, that one of John's, isn't it?
Right then, we have the marshals pulling up alongside the grid to say that this is going to be a delayed start.
So will we get another warm-up lap?
Well, I can't imagine them starting this race or delaying the start of this race, because James Hayden is not on the grid.
I can imagine them...
Again, the rule books are... You know what I'm like with reading.
I can imagine another warm-up lap and one lap off the race distance.
It's not been long enough yet, really, for everything to cool down that much.
Well, Dan Harris is looking to get back on the grid if he can.
Well, wouldn't you?
Very much so.
So there is James Hayden. There is that the starter. It's a mechanical start. It's not a mechanical starter. It's a motorised starter.
That's mechanical.
Spins the rear wheel. Okay, I'll take that. There's Dan Harris. Going backwards again, Dan.
Steady, Dan. Make your mind up, son.
Maybe he's taken the bike for a walk.
Yes, he has done. Over here.
There's Neil Hodgson. Well, Neil Hodgson there getting the definitive from the track marshals. Right, this is going to be a delayed start. So we are on a delayed start because the mechanics are running onto the track, and they wouldn't be allowed to do that if it wasn't going to be delayed. Well, we're all in a bit of a mess here at Silverstone, but
there will be no...
Jonathan, what the hell's going on down there? You've got James Hayden running alongside you. Can you keep up?
Yeah, of course I can. Poor lad,
sure?
the hobble, poor lad. What happened? You just cut out, did it?
Yeah, the bike just cut out. I think it was struggling to took over and just seemed to sort of die. I mean, I went for a throttle and just died. It was a nightmare.
Well, we'll leave you to it. You've got to get hobbling on and hobbling off. But, man, I suppose in some ways he's got a bit of an advantage, because they've delayed the start. He's going to get the bike back on the grid. And, well, I don't think I've ever been sprinting on the grid now before now, but we'll do it anyway, eh? Follow me.
I've never seen so much on the move, Jonathan.
Well, I tell you, you've been going on about me sandwiches all day. I thought I'd get a bit more fitness in. But now I think we're getting off the grid. But
clear off.
It is going to be a delayed start. And James Hayden will be on the second row, and he will get to start, which is a plus. Now,
and
I'm out of breath, and I'm fine, and I'm feeling really rather good. So I'll pass back to you.
Go and lay down, Jonathan. I'm sure you need it, mate. So Jonathan Green there doing it for the big boys down on the grid, and he's been evicted already. There is James Hayden.
I really enjoyed that.
I did enjoy that too. Good television. It's live. We're at Silverstone. That's James Hayden beating Jonathan Green in a sprint down pit lane, despite the fact that he's got he didn't break his ankle.
Well,
but it's still
battered.
It is indeed.
Yeah. And
69. Well, there's Steve Marks on the Clifford James Footwear Yamaha. He's obviously got to start his bike.
Now,
this grid is in a mess and disarray.
You're not allowed to refuel out on the grid.
No, for sure you're not.
So they've done a warm-up lap.
No, they've got to do another warm-up lap. That's a fact. Now we may find that the restart is a lap short or something if they don't allow them to refuel, because they might knock this extra warm-up lap off of the race distance. We'll have to wait and find. Paul Brown scoots his bike from the left-hand side, and just to confirm matters, we are under a delayed start. We've had one start in this second Superbike race today. That was brought to a premature halt by an accident, a 4-bike accident, for safety reasons and to cart off one of the riders. No serious injury we're led to believe at the moment, but we'll try and give you some notice as to what's happened there. And this is after James Hayden stalled it for some reason or another on the line. He can't work it out why. There is Hayden right alongside. In fact, that's not. It's John Reynolds. What am I talking about? John Reynolds, haircut 100, as he's known for today.
Only from the safety of this commentary box.
He's gone for the thug cut. as has Neil Hodgson to his left. Right, we're going to get a warm-up lap now. We're waiting for them to green flag them off the line. There's a few marshals moving to race. A 19-lap race, so they have actually taken 1 lap off it as predicted. That's fairly normal procedure to stop them having to refuel on the line, because that's all a bit tricky. Don't want to do that, and we'd have a bigger delay, of course, if we had to. So there is Hodgson. He'll start from pole one more time, and we'll take you around this track here at Silverstone. So first corner on the agenda, Cops Corner. That's about the only corner on this racetrack that hasn't changed over the years. I'm sure someone's going to write in and say, no, it has, it's got 1 yard short. Up now towards Maggots. I'm hearing to do an impression of one of those, of course. On towards Beckett's. I'm putting your lines in, Jules. You can fill in the gaps after me. Beckett's corner, and it's a bit of a short blast into the flip-flop chicane. I like Ireland. I think it's a good little corner. And then we're going through to Abbey, which is after a left-hand kick into the braking area. So Abbey used to be a hugely fast corner, but you're approaching it now from the infield, effectively, on this international circuit. Now, as we go through the right-hander at Abbey, well, this will give them a chance for the engines to cool down a little bit after they got a little bit warm. I think on the line is Jonathan Green has just reported up here. Claire Smith has reported here that the motors are a little bit hot, and the mechanics and team men are a bit concerned about the temperature they were reaching on the line here, but they won't be worrying now, I'm sure. They wouldn't have left those motors running for too long, and this will cool them back down on the warm-up lap. So they're warming their tyres up again. The motors will be up to temperature. The marshals won't hold them too long on the line. The starter, Annabelle, she'll get them off the line as quick as she possibly can, and we'll be into part 2 of race 2 here at Silverstone. There is, well, the man himself who got another fast start. James Tozen gets another chance. He was taken out by John Crawford in the first start of the day today, race of the day today. Well, our helicam, I tell you what, it's rescued us so many times. It's given us definitive shots of passing manoeuvres around this racetrack. So I don't know the names of the guys that are up in the air there, but good on you, boys. It's been great doing business with you. It's
been a good job. Just you said part 2 of race 2, Keith. It ain't. It's race 2.
Indeed. Yeah. Okay.
No aggregates. Okay. That implies an aggregate, and that scares me.
I like the way that you're pernickety with me, but it's I'll let you have that. Since we're calm at the moment, Julian. I'll just beat you up when we get in the
Calm.
Here it is then. Hodgson rolls to the line in pole position. This is a complete restart, not over the full race distance, because they've knocked a lap off because they've had to do an extra warm-up lap, if we are being pernickety here. Now then, Hodgson, for my money, is going to win this one. I reckon we're going to see something a bit more special from John Reynolds, though, Julian. Anything from you?
Yeah.
Of course, that's ruling out Crawford. Anyway.
Is he on the rostrum?
Forget about... Oh, that would be nice. I'll go with that. So the red light is on now. We're waiting for the green light to switch on. It's green, and away we go. Great start from Hodgson. Great start from Walker. And a great start from Reynolds. Who's he going to be into the braking area? Comes first time. Oh, yes. Usual suspects. Dear me, top 3 as ever. And here's Walker now then. Hodgson slips right in behind him. Reynolds slips in behind his car. Exactly around the outside of Hayden there as well. So that's it's got to be the Platomobile.
It has, and Hizzy made a bad start, unlike in the first go at this race.
Yeah, that's a shame. So the Scotsman, we're at Beckett's corner now, heading out towards Ireland, the flip-flop chicane. No, much like a chicane when you look at our aerial from the copter. But there is, leading through, the stalker, not being a stalker in this particular part of the race.
It's the stalkee in this case.
Grammatically ever correct.
And look at Plato in 4th.
Yeah, that's a great... I'll tell you what, Steve Plato is going places on a Superbike.
Very much so.
He's got better and better and better. Came up from Supersport from last year. Simon Buckmaster, the team manager at Kawasaki, he has been absolutely astounded by Plato's progress, and he is a real thoroughly nice guy too. His laugh is infectious. It makes me giggle when I watch him.
He's a...
26. Oh, that's a bit of a nasty one there. 26, he's out of this.
Dave Wood.
Yeah, Davey Wood, and he's right there in the old Privateers Championship as well. So Davey Wood finds himself with a bit of a problem.
Just a little bit. Walker, Hodgson, Reynolds, top 3 in the championship, top 3 in the race, but not in that order.
I'll tell you what, Walker's got a long way to make up in this championship, but if Hodgson finishes in front of Reynolds, he will be the leader in the series. And now a bit of a clear lead at the end of that lap with Chris Walker, and Hodgson, well, as he did in race 1, just taking his time, picking his line, getting his tyres tyres up to speed. No mistakes from Hodgson so far this weekend. He's been absolutely perfect all the way. And we can take a look at the distance from our helicopter. There it is. It all concertinas up as we go through Maggots and down towards Beckett's corner. It looks confusing when you look at the track from there.
Which way do you go?
Yeah, some of the permutations all out wide there. I don't know who that was, but someone was out really wide there at Beckett's corner. It's a braking manoeuvre, of course, too far for some riders.
This time Reynolds is right on Hodgson's case, though. He's not had to do a lot of work.
I've got to say, man of the making for me, as Hodgson looks at the outside.